Hi, I'm going to show you how to, to edit, how I really edit. I'm going to show you how to create a transition in Final Cut Pro. And you don't just put the standard effects on and kind of leave it up to the things that the designers and creators of the editing system made for you to standardly do, unless you want to just do that and keep it simple. But I do a lot more work. I can create transitions. A dissolve, say like you're playing through the movie. I'm not sure if this is a flipped image or not. When it plays through from here to here on a YouTube video, the timeline looks the same. You have your video track right here. Say like you have one clip right here, one video here. You put the next one next to it, and it plays through and into the next clip. The two pieces of video, the two shots that you had, plays through and plays the next one. In between, you kind of shorten the edges. You click on the very edge and slide it over. Click on the edge of this one, slide it over. Then you click on this piece, move it to here so they match up, and they have some extra to go this way to create the transition. Then you can put this one under this one and this one over this one and have them, and then drag this out here, drag this out here, and then this one is going like this. This one looks like this, and this one looks like this. And right here is where the transition is. And you can dissolve this one out and dissolve this one in. Or you have the two pieces of video somewhere here, and it may do it automatically. You just drag the dissolve and put it right in between, and it makes a dissolve. What I found is you have the two pieces, you drag one under, so it's like two layers. You can have many layers. I found you can go here and put a key. This is how you animate. You make key places. A dot here that locks it in as 100% opacity. That was over here. You go into the properties and you go to the opacity. It's 100%. And then you make a dot here and make it 0%. So it goes from 100 down to 0% opacity. It fades out all the way. And then the one under it is starting at the exact same place, and you can click on this thing and zoom in really far, and click on it once and drag it 1/30th of a frame to the left, 1/30th of a frame to the left, to the right, until you get it exactly right and match up just to that dot. You zoom in, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you see the giant pieces overlap like this, and you can match it up exactly. You click on that one piece and you can move it by a tiny fraction of a frame, 1/30th of a second, a tiny fraction of a second, not a fraction of a frame. One frame at a time. There are about 30 frames a second. You can do 24 frames a second or 29.97 frames a second, depending on how you look at it. Sometimes you can do 1/60th of a second, but it's generally 1/30th, 1/24th. You don't have to think about it that much. It just naturally sets the project as the video was that you filmed, and you can go in there and change the properties of it to do stuff like that. So that's how you literally create a transition. You can have this, or when you have the two pieces overlapping finally, like this one piece of video here and this one piece of video here, and they were like this originally, and you push this down a layer by just moving it over, and it pushes it down, and you go like this, and then you have, starting right here and right here, you have the dots, and this one is 100% opacity here. So everything that way is 100% opacity. You make a dot, a keyframe, and then you here it's 0%. So 100% opacity all the way down to 0, and 100% opacity down to 0, and it creates a dissolve. It goes from this shot and slowly turns into this one. And that's how you do a dissolve manually and create a transition yourself, instead of the standard ones that you just drag and drop in between the two shots and put them right down, and then it like makes a transition. Or you may have to click on this edge and move it back a little, click on this edge and move it back a little, so then it kind of goes like this, and then when you create the dissolve, it has this extra space to go in. But I'm not making an analogy. It looks like it's trying to cut my hands off. Crazy. I don't understand what that is. I don't think that's a possibility, really. In America, they don't do that to people. Hopefully they don't do it in other countries either anymore, but they may. I don't know. I don't know what the heck that is. Generally, in the first world, it's a pain. You get pains in your body. You think, oh, the whole thing's going to be terrible. And it's a worry that you think is going to be worse because you feel the pain of it. You keep feeling, and it's generally not going to be anything that bad. Don't worry about it. It's generally the worry that bothers us the most. It's depending on how you look at it. And God wants us to go through things that we are supposed to go through. We may have to repent, feel really, really sorry for what we had done that was bad and wrong. And it shows us in the New Testament. What's right and wrong. This whole book is shown to us by God and Jesus. The New Testament. One thing we may have to do is repent for the bad that we did. It's really hard. I had to do it for 2 years one time. And so it's like, it's not just anxiety or stuff like that. There's real worry and stuff that we have to go through. And it's described to us in here. And the whole purpose is to be kind to others, so we don't mess up, so we don't have to suffer more than I wish I hadn't done. You don't wish. There's no wishing. It's being kind to others and forgiving them when they're mean to you, forgiving them their trespasses against you. And this has a low angle on my face, so it's probably making my neck fat. Somebody's going to say, who's fat? But I don't know what it looks like. And then there will be older people who look at it and say, what are you talking about? No matter what I would do, I'm still going to be younger than them. So it depends on how you look at it. If you want to see in Final Cut Pro, I'll show you a transition I created. I'll show you a transition I created in Final Cut Pro. Let's do this. I open Final Cut Pro. You go down here. This is a really cool transition I created. I'm going to press play on it and I'll show you. Now watch, because it's a fast transition. I'm going to turn the volume. It's up. Okay. Here goes. Watch. It's a quick It's a transition I created. It's not a standard one. I sped this shot up. At the very end of it, watch what happens. Watch this pretty soon. Any minute, any second now. There it is. Did you see that? Now I'm going to press pause. Now I'm going to go back one frame at a time. You press the left arrow. This is in Final Cut Pro. One. Whoa, that was a fast one. Here's forward, right, left, right, left. This is the right and left arrow. Right, right. Wow, right. I zoomed in really fast. Right, 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 right. Then it's just the normal shot. And somewhere here, I didn't, this was a zoom in on the actual camera itself, this part of it. Now I'm going back, 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 back. This is left arrow backwards to where it started. Left, 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 back, 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 back. Now watch this. Back, back, back. This is one frame at a time, 1/30th of a second in reverse at a time. Look at this. Now, I could have done it more perfectly, but it was such a fast transition. See what I did? See what I did there? Cool. I could have gotten this more perfect to fit in, perfect is for God. God is the only perfect one. I'm a flawed human being, but we can do our best and make it look really good. Now I can get that frame that shows the previous shot to fit more accurately inside the iPhone and look really good, but it was such a fast transition the human eye would not generally be able to tell. But if it was a movie of mine, I'd probably get it pretty close to perfect. I'd probably get it really good, really good if it was a movie. This was just one of my random videos. I'm going to go back. I'm going to press the back button left 1/30th of a frame at a time. Oh, that was a little off. That was kind of way off. See, I can make a keyframe right there and click on the shot, the snowy shot that looks really good, and drag it to the right a little bit, rotate it a little bit, and then I'm going to click back. I'm going to click back one time in reverse. Yeah, I could click this shot, drag it, and rotate it to the right a little bit. See? Now I'm going to press J. This goes in reverse and plays it backwards. I'm going to keep playing it backwards. And I had sped this shot up. Now I'm going to press the space button, pause. And when you press the space button again, it plays forwards. Now let's watch it play straight through again. Did you see that? Let's play it in reverse. I'm going to press J and just play it in reverse. Okay, I'm going to press pause and play it again one more time, and then I'll show you how I did it. Wow, that was cool. I'm going to press pause, the play button. I'm going to press ESC and get out of this large screen. Okay, now I'll show you how I did it. Come down here to the timeline, I believe it's called, still in the Final Cut Pro. You zoom in, press Z, or if you're on a laptop, you do your fingers wider to zoom in. Now I'm going to zoom in. You drag here, click here and drag, and press the up arrow, and it goes to the previous cut, and any edits that you did, which is not generally called edits. It's called a cut or a transition. but we don't have to say cut because it sounds like you're cutting somebody. It's crazy, but it's not, because it's these small things. So if somebody wants to say edit, it's an edit, but that's generally not the literal term. And I studied it in books. I studied it in Walter Murch's editing book in theory, and then I taught myself how to do all this all myself. I taught myself Final Cut Pro all myself. However, I studied the book In the Blink of an Eye by Walter Murch, and it shows how to edit. Now I press the up button. I'm going to press the down button. It goes here forward. The up button, and this is way zoomed in. Way zoomed in. So when I press left and right arrow, this is just one frame. When I press left, it jumps really far. It's way zoomed in. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit with my two fingers. Now when I press right, it goes there. When I press left arrow, it goes there. Right, left, and that's a pretty big right, and just press the play button, the space bar. Now I'll press the up arrow again, and it goes here. Now let's zoom in. Let me show you what. I'm going to press the up arrow again. Up arrow again. It goes to the individual cuts or the edits I do. Let's just call it edits, okay? To be kind to other people who call it edits, or we can act cool. Edits. Press up, 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 up. Excuse me. J plays in reverse, and press play for pause. Now let's zoom in. Let's press play again, which is the space bar. The space bar. Whoops, zoomed in way too far. Zoom out a little bit. Press the space bar again for play. Okay, I press pause. Now here's what I did. Here's how I did this transition that I created myself. Actually, it appears that I used 3, 4 transitions, 4 dissolves, 4 dissolves. These are transitions right here that I see here. This lists all the transitions you can do here on the right. You can do all these cool transitions, and the main one is a cross dissolve. See, I'm going to click on this dissolve and press Command X for get rid of it, and copy. It deletes it and copies it, or cuts. Oh, cut. It's not going to cut anybody. It's a little tiny cut. I don't know what the heck that does. It's like cutting a piece of fruit. Then you drag, see, you drag this dissolve to here. And then you can click on the right and left to make it shorter or longer. I'm going to press undo, Command Z. Command Z. And then you can click on the far left, since I cut the thing or copied it and deleted it, whatever you say without saying a word that hurts anyone. It's not going to hurt me anyway. You don't want to say that stuff. You click on the edge. Like Alfred Hitchcock, he turned to horror. You know? He didn't like using the word cut, I think, but he said it anyway. And he couldn't figure it, you know. Sometimes words bother people, and it doesn't do anything that bad. It's like cutting a piece of fruit. Okay, you click on the edge of it, or you can click on the actual clip. This clip, you can click on the actual clip, and for some reason, it grouped it into this thing. I don't know what this thing is that it does. It's a newer thing in Final Cut Pro, but I'm going to press undo, and it keeps them together. I don't know what that thing is, but this is when you actually click on each individual thing. Like here's how it is, here, and there's a transition in between. Here's a piece of video that plays through, and here's a piece of video that plays through, and there's a transition in between. Now let's put this transition back. You click on the very edge of it and press Command V for paste, and it'll paste the whole transition that I had copied. See, it puts it right back. The exact, when you click on this one and make it left and right, undo, Command Z, it does it the same length of your transition as I had created. Now, or I had put there. Now let's see the keyframes that I created to make the size different. Now let's click on this one. Let's see what I did with this. Let's click here. When you go up to the properties, see, this is all the properties of the piece of video in the top right. This is all the properties in the top right. You can see it says transform. You click on that, the box right here, and that shows the size of it. Now let's click right arrow. This is moving forward one little frame at a time. Now you can see on the far right I put keyframes for the position of the shot, for the rotation of the shot, for the scale, the size of the X and Y. They're all about the same because I didn't want to distort the image. And I put a keyframe there, right there, and I can make that a little better. Here's what you do. You make sure that this box is selected, and you can move this around. Now, here's something else you can do to it. Well, I'm going to change the rotation. It says negative 0.3. I'm going to click negative 3.0. Negative 3.0. I'm going to click negative 2.8. And I think that'll rotate it a little better. Yeah, that's a little closer. Negative 2.7. Negative 2.5. You can, if you have the time, you can become a very good editor, and you can get paid really well when you learn the post-production. I taught myself in 9 months how to edit. I read one book, took an editing class on theory. I think it was one class. I met my wife in that class. And wow, that's where I met her. Negative 2.5. Now here's what we do. We zoom in on this shot. Let's zoom in 100%, and you click here on this little piece to show more accurately. Okay, is this matching up with the iPhone? Now let's go down and see how big it is. If you really want to get it accurate, here's what you do. You go to distort. Wait, not distort. Or you go to crop. Let's go to crop. Now let's put in a keyframe. Let's click all these keyframes to make sure it's in the right position, right where it is. Now let's press the left button and it'll go to the left and put a keyframe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's press, oh wait, let's zoom out. Oh, that looks awful. Let's go back to the transition and click this transition here, this box. I must have done this really fast, or than I thought. Negative 2.8, again, that same rotation. Or 2.5, negative 2.5. I think 2.8 looks, yeah, negative 2.5. Let's get it there for now. Let's press left. let's move this here. And it creates a keyframe. If there are already keyframes on that shot, it creates one. When you click on this and move it to somewhere else, it does another keyframe next to wherever the other keyframes were. Let's make this a little bigger. You know, left, 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 left. Oh, cool. And you know, down here in the timeline, we can click here and drag this right 2 times, because I am gonna add it further, a little better. I'm gonna make this shot a little better. And then you click right again, make it really small so it looks really cool. Well, it's such a fast shot, you can't tell that much. Something messed up. Click down here on this shot and press the right arrow. It's so small, it's hard to get just right. You gotta zoom in on it better. Now, okay, right. This is so zoomed in. You could dissolve. This is where I added the dissolves. Drag it out here, put a dissolve on it. Wait, let's just copy and paste that other dissolve that I used. Paste. Click on the right side of it and paste. You can see it's dissolving out, but you want to make sure we click on the actual shot again and make sure the rest of it that I had added is about where it is, and then I'm gonna do something else to it. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna click back here at the beginning of the shot. Right. The heck? Oh, there it is. Now, we can get this a little better. Starting from here, let's go to crop. Let's put it a keyframe in for right here, because it's where it should be and where the previous shot was. Now let's click on this arrow here and go to the right where I had put a keyframe there and get rid of that. Get rid of those keyframes. Now let's click on the left and go back to the only keyframe for the crop. Now let's click. Now let's press the right button to go 1 frame to the right. 1, 2. Let's go 2 frames to the right and put a keyframe in for the crop. And we're going to drag this to match the iPhone screen right here. Okay. That looks good. This looks a little too big. I'm going to click the size of it and transform. I got this pretty good. Now, let me finish the rest of it and I'll tell you what, this is pretty amazing what else I can do to it. If you really want to get it accurate, you can add a slight blur to it to match the focus of the next shot of this shot. See how it's kind of blurry because it's so far away? You know, because it doesn't have the lines of resolution or whatever it's called. It doesn't have the image quality that far away. You can add a slight blur and dissolve it into this shot that's more clear and put a cut right here. I'll press B, that makes the cut tool, or you can select it somewhere around here. You put a cut right here. You click on this shot, go up to window, let's show the show in workspace effects, and this switches from transition to effects. Let's find Gaussian blur. Here it is. I don't want to do this actually because, okay, let's make this shot, you know, like that, something like this. Okay, now click on the edge of these shots. Let's go back to window, show in workspace, transitions. This dissolved it from this clear shot, and it's the same one that I had created keyframes, so it keeps those keyframes. And it makes it look really good. Like it's real. Like it's real. But here, and I did some other funny thing to it. That's why it looks funny. I did some other funny thing because I didn't like the way that red tripod looked. So I dissolved it. I made a mat around it, a traveling mat, and I made it black and white because I didn't like the way the red looked. It looked like something was annoying me. Something was annoying me. And I didn't like the way the red looked, and it was bothering me. And now it doesn't bother me at all. And it was a temporary thing. And at the time, it was so annoying to me to see that color red on the tripod. Like anybody would. I'm not some crazy, you know, best artist in the world, give my life for it. That's not what I'm about. God and Jesus gets all the glory. That's what reality is. God and Jesus gets the glory, not me being some cool artist. It was bothering me, that red color. I had like an anxiety or worry about it. So I made a traveling mat around it. It's one of these shots. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. And if you look on the right, I made a draw mask. It has keyframes. It's hard to go back in and edit the keyframes sometimes. You got to get it. Can't have this transition of the shot clicked or any of this other stuff like crop clicked. Sometimes you can see it, but I clicked here and you put these dots around it, and I made it almost, I changed the saturation of it so it's almost all the way black and white, but it still has some color so it matches the rest of it. And I took the color away, and I think it was here, and it looks cool. It looks cool, almost like a fisheye effect or something. And I think I slightly changed the shape of it. Now it looks really good. Let's play this shot, and I think it's actually had time to render. I'm gonna press arrow up. Let's just play the whole thing. I'm gonna turn the volume up. Unless I'm gonna press arrow down and go down to these. I'm gonna see if there's anything else. I'm gonna press left arrow. Is there anything I'm missing here? Wow, that's so cool. I'm gonna press the up arrow and keep it pressed, and it keeps going through all the stuff till the very beginning of the thing when you press up arrow. Unless you have so many endless edits that I've done. I spent a long time editing. And Okay, so this is how I really edit. It's not about the power of your computer. It helps. It really helps to have a good computer. Um, I suggest getting a loan to get one if you really want to edit. If you can't afford the good ones, because it takes so long to render, unless you get a good enough one for however much money. But it's worth it to have a better computer, because when you really working in editing, I created that transition. It has actually has four small um, dissolves in it that I could have done by hand, but it was not as important, and it I created that whole transition. It's pretty amazing. I'm gonna press the up arrow and help keep it held down, and it goes all the way through to the very beginning of the timeline of the whole video. Here it is. Now I'm going to maximize it. I'm going to turn the volume up. Let's play through and see how the shot looks that we created. The transition, a really cool transition. And with 360 cameras, you can create some really cool stuff, because you can go in and edit where the camera shoots afterwards with the 360 camera. And with the Insta360, nowadays you can zoom out of the whole world, zoom into a town, into the outside of your house. You can make it look like it's the world by doing the tiny world effect. With an Insta360 camera, you can get a used one for $100-something, an older model. But I have the new one. I finally got the new one after using the old one for like really figuring out how to do everything the old one can do, and they came out with a new one, and I'm getting better at it. Anyway, no big deal. The new one's like $400-something, and it shoots in 5.7K. The older one you can get for $100-something or 200, 100-something, literally 100-something if you look, and it's 4K, and you can do these really amazing shots that I haven't done yet because I haven't had the time, because I was doing more videos on YouTube and quality videos, and I've already done it. Okay, you want the truth? Look at this right here is a shot that people can't do, generally speaking, in the best videos on YouTube. I have some of the best quality videos online for individual YouTube users, not for big studio movies. Big studio movies is ridiculous what they can do. They can create a Van Gogh painting that is like an interactive video game that the user can choose where they move, and it's like they have millions and billions of dollars. They have like $200 million. They have $140 million budget or $80 million budget to hire 1,000 people to do the work of one artist, and it looks pretty good. However, they kind of lose the whole point when they have 10 different writers and it's not following one individual person's vision, and it gets a little mixed up and messed up. It looks high quality, big budget. However, the story is not there, and sometimes an individual, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It depends, and it's not all about the big budget. It's not all about money. It's about God and Jesus. Forget all that. It's about God and Jesus. It's about God and Jesus. Let's play through this clip, and then first I'm going to show you this. Where's God and Jesus? Oh, here. Look terrible in my face. Wait. It's about God and Jesus, following God and Jesus in the New Testament. God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit in the New Testament. Look, man, I'm strong. Wait. Okay. Now let's play this clip. Let's play this Here it goes. I'm gonna put the I'm gonna hold the Bible. I'm gonna put the Bible to the side. Let's play it and see how it came out. Whoa! It really snowed. I did something there, and then I sped this shot up. I had to put it on a tripod, it looks like, and that's kind of what I did. Here it is. Wow, that's so cool. Wow, that is so cool. I'm going to press pause. I'm going to press J a few times to really go fast in reverse. And press pause again, and I'm going to play through it one more time. That's so cool. Wow, it came out really well. The other thing I can work on, but it looked like it was the light of the camera. I'm going to press J a bunch of times, go super fast in reverse. Press pause with the play button. I'm with the space bar is the play button on this editing, and I'm going to press it again, the space bar, play button. Let's just watch the thing. Let's see how it came out. Wow, it looks really cool. I'm going to press reverse really fast, and then I'm going to play it. I'm going to press the space bar, which is the play button, and I'm going to press play, and I'm going to press pause really fast and reverse and pause. Now I'm going to press the right arrow button and go through it really slow. Oh wow, I didn't get it exact. But you can go in there and create a keyframe to get it really exact. It's almost, wow, it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. And it looks like a bubble fisheye effect that I did with the other thing, because I had to I don't know, and it looks better, like it's a fisheye going doom. I did that on purpose in my film Rebel Fish. And that red light kind of looks like a red light in the camera, where I put the traveling mat a little to the side. So that's okay. I didn't like the look of that tripod at the time. It was a red tripod, so I reduced the saturation of that shot almost down to 0, but I kept some of it so it would blend in with the stuff around it. I'm going to press reverse. Okay, let's play it one more time, regular motion. Wow. That's cool. I'm going to go reverse super fast. Space button, space bar, pause. Shit. No, I should curse in the video. I'm sorry. I should use a curse word. Okay, I'm going to play it one more time again. Okay. Wow, that's really cool. Okay, press pause. Okay, I'm going to zoom in. Okay, I'm getting out of here. Quick, before they kill me. Quick, before they kill me. Get out of here. Quick. It's going to kill me. Okay, it's not going to kill me. I look pretty strong. You know why? Because I drink coffee and I lift weights. Quick, get out of here. Quick, get to the chopper. Okay. Not the chopper. Not going to chop my hair off. Not going to chop my meat. I'm getting out of here. Okay, click like in the video, subscribe. This is John Birmingham. That's how I edit. Sometimes when I'm creating transitions, that there's much more involved than just that. Okay, that's how you can edit if you want to learn post-production and do editing. I do a lot of other stuff, sound design, a lot of different things with editing. Okay, that's my post-production and how I really actually edit. Okay, bye.